What up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Jamal here, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you a quick overview on Jira. Currently Jira boasts that it's the #1 software development tool used across Agile teams, and it really is a good product. It allows you to plan your tasks and keep all of your stories in a nice centralized place. So let's get started. So in order to create a free account, just click get it free button. And what this is going to do is already going to bring in the Jira software. We have Confluence and Jira Service Management. These are optional. What you want to do is click next. And once you're here, enter your email address. And then what you want to do is give your site name. I'm just going to give this JR test. And once you're finished, you can just click the agree button. And this is going to create your very first Jira instance. And once I'm here, I already have a project set up, but for you, you're going to just go on the project and click create project, and you're going to see a list of project templates. So depending on what you're developing, you can choose what's right. I'm just going to stick to software development, and I'm just going to select the Kanban, which is the very first option. So a Kanban, this is a Japanese word for just a visual signal, and it's all about helping team visualize their work. So this is going to allow us to track our work using a simple board. We have a list of some pre-built issue types like epic, story, bug, task, and subtask, as well as workflow statuses such as to do, in progress, and done. So what I'm going to do is just click use this template, and you're going to be greeted on this page. So depending on what type of project and the team structure you have, you can select what best fits you. I'm just going to click company manage. Alright, next what we want to do is just simply add the project details. So this is where I'm going to give it my project name. So in this case, I'm just going to call it pet grooming website. Now we can see our project key being created. So project key is simply PGW, and that's pretty much the first letter of each word in our project name. Next we have is connecting repositories. So you can connect to repositories and your documents and more. I'm simply just going to click create project. So now my project is created. I have my pet grooming website. I can go back into projects and view the list of projects that I already have. So that's good. So let me go back to the pet grooming website. So what I'm going to do is, since I don't have anything in my backlog, nothing selected for development, nothing in progress, and in done, what I'm going to do is just simply create a new issue. So click the create button, and what this is going to do is show you your project that you've been working with, as well as the other list of projects. And we have different issue types. So we have a story, task, bug, and epic. And what we're going to do is just simply start off with an epic. So think about an epic as a basket with eggs, and the eggs are the user stories and the basket being the epic. So the main epic name for me I'm going to create is create a UI for pet grooming. So this is the overarching umbrella for all the stories that's going to be created under this. And the summary for this, I'm just going to give it visual depiction of the pet grooming website. Alright, that looks good. So a description is going to be create a web UI to showcase our pet grooming services. And what we're going to do is under the reporter, it's going to be me, since I'm the one creating this issue. The fixed version, there's none right now. And the priority, you can change highest, high, low, or lowest. I'm just going to give it the highest at this time. And for your labels, you can give whatever labels you want. So I'm just going to type in a few labels for an example. So we can type in web, and we can type in development. Now we have our very first issue. It's automatically going to be into our backlog. Next, what we're going to do is create a story. So hit the create button, and next you want to select a story. So the summary I'm going to give it is build a React website for pet grooming service. And I'm also going to give it a description. The description is just develop a website using React for a client, and the report is still going to be made. And if we go to the top right, we can see configure fields. So we have a list of other options. We can bring in the assignee, the attachment, as well as some other options that we like. So in this case, the assignee is going to be me. If I had a developer or a different business analyst or whoever, you can always add their name there as well. But for now, since I don't have a developer, I'm just going to assign it to me, and I'm just going to click done. Alright, so now we have our story, build a React website for the pet grooming service. That looks good. So what we can do is just simply drag and bring this story into selected for development. That's one way of moving stories and tasks in your Kanban board. Also go to your work to see your list of work that is assigned to you. So you can tell I have worked under my work on section. I have the React website for pet grooming as well as an Epic. So if I click into one of these issues, you can see the issue page, and it's just going to bring back the details. So this is a summary as well as my key. So this is PGW number 2. So this is a good short code if you want to copy and paste it when you send emails and stuff like that, and they can get them directly to that page. So that's what the key is for. And also we have some comments. So it's best when you move something from the backlog or into development or any other swim lane. It's always good to give it a comment. So right now I'm just going to put ready for development and just click save. And that's how you can see your comment being saved and added to your issue. Alright, that looks good. So what I'm going to do is now create a task. So what I'm going to create a task is just something simple that's related to the story. So what I'm going to say is just build a local environment. Alright, that looks good. Next, what I want to do is just give some details in the description. So what I'm going to say is just gather all my tools needed for development. And what I'm going to do is say this linked issue is related to, and if I can click the issue, and this will say PGW2, and I'm just going to say assign it to myself again. I'm just going to click create. So now that I created that, what I'm going to do is just simply refresh the page. And what now we should see is our linked issue. So now our linked issue is right here on that page as well. So build local environment is related to build a React website. And we could also create a subtask. You just hit the create subtask button. And I'm just going to say build a home page. So that's a subtask related to my story. And I'm just going to hit create. So now we can see our subtask is right under the subtask section, as well as our link issue is under the link issue section. You can also edit this. You can click the link. It will direct you to the page. So we have build home page. All looks similar. Currently it's in the backlog. We have all this nice details and stuff that we can look at. So we can definitely move this from the backlog to in progress or done. We also have assignee, so I can change it to me. The reporter is usually the person that creates it, or you can have some type of automated system that does that for you. We can bring in some of the labels that we created earlier, so like web or development. I'm just going to bring those in as well as a new one. So I'm just going to add in test web development, so you can see the labels in there. We can change the priority from medium to high. As well, if we hit the drop down button, we can see more fields. Here you can add your estimated time, how much time that you work. So if you work on this task for a few hours, let's say 3 hours, you just simply put 3 in each. That's the syntax that they like, and you can just click save, and that's just going to tell you how much time you log for the day. And well, you can add some fixed versions, so I can create a new one. This is usually probably like a sprint name, something like that. So you can try giving it a name of, let's say, sprint 1. Alright, give you a start date, and usually start is like a 2-week sprint. So I'm just going to give it something random, and then give it a description, sprint 1 development, and that's our fixed version. Next, if you just go back to the left and click Kanban board, now we can see we have all our issues. We have build a local environment. We have our backlog. Now we can move this to and select development or in progress all easily. So let's try doing in progress, and then let's hit the close button. So now that looks good, now that's going to move it into the in progress section, which is exactly where we want it to be. And now we have the build home page, and we can just drag that and put that into under the development section, which is pretty good. So now we have the build the home page. It's under select for development. We have all the information that we can see, so pretty good. And if you click the link, it's just gonna take you into that So what I'm going to do is just simply add a comment, and it's just going to say ready for development or ready for dev. Next, I'm just going to simply go back to the Kanban board. So what I want to do right now is simply move the build homepage task into the done column. So click select for development and change it into done. And then I'm just going to add a quick comment, homepage done. Now let's see what happens to this task. Now that task moved from the selected for development right into the done phase. And let's take a look into filters. So for filters, we can go into my open issues, and this is what's going to show you all the issues that are assigned to you. You can filter by project, you can filter by type. So if you want to do a story, you can do story, what status it's in. So right now we can see this is selected for development. So if I select done, there's nothing's going to be found. But if I select selected for development, it's still going to be remain the same. So everything is matching up the filter, and the current user could be myself. If I choose unassigned, it still will pick me because it's an or situation. And yeah, and then you can also click, well, you can also use the switch JQL version, and what that is pretty much is like a Jira query language. If I wanted to find build a React, I can use the same approach, but I'm going to use the syntax. So I can start off with saying issue type. So if I type issue type, I can select that, and what that's going to say is equal. And since this is a story, I'm just going to look for a story. And if I just hit the search button, this will automatically find that for me. It shouldn't take much because I only had one story. But if you have multiple, you can use the and you can filter it by assignee. You can filter it by, so in this case it's going to be me. Set search, still going to be found, but there's so much other stuff that you can add, so much criteria. So you can do and what else we have, you can say and status. So the status is whether equal or not equal. So there's very much a lot of cool stuff you can mess around with in here. And I'm just going to click select for development and click search. Alright, and that's how you can get familiar with your filters, and you can save this filter if you like to. I'm just going to save it as my filter. You can name it for whatever you need that filter for, whether my open issues, my close issues, etc. Alright, that's now we're going to switch back to the basic version, and from there what I'm just going to do now is uncheck all these filters so I don't have no filters remaining, and everything can go back to the default. So now what I'm going to do is just simply go to dashboard, and within the dashboard, this is your default Jira dashboard. What it has is your introduction, your projects or projects you are assigned to or working on, the tasks that are assigned to you, as well as some other stuff about your Jira company, you know. So little basic information here. Under people, you can invite a teammate. So if I wanted to invite a developer, a tester, any of those teammates, we can just send in the email address. You can invite them to the project, and you can assign tasks back and forth amongst each other. Last but not least, we can just create a bug. So if I found, let's say, an issue within the home page that was done, and I'm just going to create a new summary saying homepage text is not aligned correctly inside of my summary. I'm just going to fill this description out on how I can reproduce this issue. So when a user lands on the home page, this text is not centered, and that's an issue. And we can also add a screenshot. So if you want to add a screenshot showing, you know, where this issue is happening, you can just go to your location. I'm just going to enter some dummy file here. Here we go, just a screenshot. And once we have your screenshot, all right, so you can select whatever this issue relates to. So your link issue, and you can say why it's being linked. And this is going to be linked because it blocks, let's say, build a home page as well as build a React website. So we're just going to click the build React website first and see what that does. All right, so now we have our bug. It's into the backlog. Homepage text is not aligned correctly. That looks good. If we open it up, we can see our attachment right here. We can see our description, and we can see what it blocks. So it blocks build a React website for the pet grooming service, and we're just going to hit close. And now also, since we have this in the done section and this is on the home page, what we can do is go to that task as well. And what we can do is just say link issue, and what we're going to do is just say it relates to, and we can enter that bug, and the bug is right there, and just link the bug. And now the bug is linked to that task, and that is great for some tracking purposes. And since we're here, we can take it from the backlog into selected for development, and that's it. And then once Jira, next we have is reports. If you want to see a good list of reports and what type of reports Jira produce, you can take a look at that. But for now, this is just a quick introduction and quick overview on Jira and how you can get started with the various projects and issue types. Alright, that's all I have on this quick Jira tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another video.